On this channel, I typically approach the topic of astrobiology from the standpoint of, well, biology. We know what life on Earth is like, what forms it takes, and from there we can do our best to chew over what life on other worlds might be like. Often we can hypothesize about how it might be similar, but much harder is hypothesizing about how it might not be similar. Some of this we can do from our understanding of biochemistry and possible ways that life might function differently than ourselves. But we can also do this to a limited degree with physiology. On ocean worlds populated with aquatic animals, they likely would develop physiologies suited for that environment, like they did here on Earth, though even there the possibilities are quite wide. But all of that, once again, boils down to biology. Yet there is no guarantee that civilizations remain biological as they advance. It may be the case that the majority of intelligent life in the universe is technological rather than biological, or a better term would be post-biological. Hypothetically, a post-biological civilization of some type could be the natural course of evolution for a species. This broaches the topic of post-biological guided evolution, the concept of upgrading ourselves mentally and physically, and also doing so to animals or even alien life we might encounter in the future. But with that evolution, radical changes to the culture are sure to occur, and even paradigm shifts so large might occur that render one's own home planet obsolete. We often assume that we will stay with Earth for as long as it's possible to do so, but maybe not if we go the post-biological route. When envisioning what we as a post-biological civilization would need, our solar system starts looking less attractive than it was for biological existence. When looking at biological possibilities both here and out in the universe, we talk about things like liquid water being present on a world. We do that because we know life here needs liquid water. It's a ground rule. But likewise, we know technology here needs things like energy in order to engage in computation. In short, our machines may offer clues to what machine civilizations are like, in much the same way that a bacterium offers clues to what biological life in the universe might be like. For starters, efficient computation is likely a priority for such a civilization. There are lots of limits that affect our computers right now that probably affect alien computers as well, such as only so much storage space. But we do know that the greater the amount of computation, the more energy you need. But with that comes heat and inefficiency. To fix this, you lower overall temperatures. In other words, the optimal place for computation in a galaxy is wherever the coldest temperatures can be found. This would essentially make the galactic center unsuitable, and even our comparatively warm solar system. Instead, the outer reaches of the galaxy might be more attractive for a post-biological civilization to set up shop. But there's a problem there too: low amounts of raw materials. One thing a machine civilization will need is raw materials such as metals to repair itself and build on its capabilities. The question here is whether to mine materials or manufacture them. You can hypothetically do all sorts of mining, from stellar lifting to chasing asteroids. This gets harder to do, though, out at the furthest reaches of the galaxy, though high metal stars are getting ejected from the galactic core, so not entirely impossible if you have the right stars available. But it's also possible that they might manufacture their own raw materials from hydrogen using advanced fusion and ignore stellar-produced material entirely. This could create a post-biological galactic habitable zone where you have enough hydrogen to produce materials, but it's still cold enough for efficient computation. If humanity chooses to go down the post-biological path, it may someday be that in order to continue advancing, we must abandon the solar system entirely and might migrate outward to the post-biological galactic habitable zone, or galactic technological zone. We might do it on ships traveling at sublight speeds, or even migrate Earth itself by artificially ejecting it from the solar system. A good thing if one is searching for cold, but still wants to keep their home planet, frozen though it would be. Either way would take immense amounts of time, but a post-biological species likely has nothing but time on its hands. Thanks for listening. I am futurist and science fiction author John Michael Gauthier, currently pondering post-biological machine civilization me. At that point, I really would be a robot, so whenever you see people asking if I'm a text-to-speech synthesizer in the comments, tell them, not yet. And be sure to check out my books at your favorite online book retailer and subscribe to my channel for regular in-depth explorations into the interesting, weird, and unknown aspects of this amazing universe in which we live.